Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So it was another rough day for DJT stock. It did eventually stabilize and it held steady in the mid to upper $12 range throughout the day. But check this out. In early morning trading, the stock dropped all the way down to $11.75. So this one goes to 11. We now know. And what's been happening is what happened is that every day we're seeing a new high and we're seeing a new low, and it's been consistently lower than the day before. The highs are lower and the lows are lower. So we'll see. Could get down into the tens tomorrow. I'm hoping. I was really hoping for single digits by the end of this month. So there, it could be. We'll see. I will definitely keep an eye on this, but we're finally getting some details about the large trades that have been made over the past few days. And, this is the reason why it's just completely tanking. So there's a lag in information because sellers have up to 48 hours to disclose their trades. So some of the trades that were done at the end of last week, we're just now learning about, as of Monday or as of today. So as expected, there was a massive sell-off. Average trading volume, they said, had been around 8.3 million shares a day. So that was over, a 30-day period, average of 8.3 million that were trading, being sold and purchased on the market. According to NBC News, as soon as the closing bell rang last Thursday, so that's when that 6-month lockup period officially expired, Trump media insiders started ditching their stock immediately. Over 14 million shares traded that evening alone. Then another 22 million were sold on Friday. And then yet another 18.3 million shares sold on Monday. Think about what that means. These are people selling these shares who were close enough to Trump or close enough to other people in the mix and the founders of Truth Social to get in on the ground floor. These are people who were gifted their shares. That's how close they were with Trump or these other people. These are people who have inside knowledge and details about what's going on in this company, things that the general public isn't privy to. And they're looking at this and they're saying, I got to get out of here. I got to get out while I can. If they believed in the viability of this company, if they believed in the long-term success and the vision of this company, they would never sell their shares. That's called a clue, MAGA. Right? And this also says a whole lot about their level of faith in Trump and his chances of winning in the November election. Because that is about the only thing that can save this stock. Barring a win in November, this stock is headed for the penny stock market. I mean, there's no way. No one is going to care if he loses the election. The company will go under. I mean, we already know it's worthless anyway. But anyway, now, of course, NBC News reached out to Trump media for comment. And they asked them, about this mass exodus. And they issued this BS statement. They're trying to deflect attention away from this train wreck. They said, quote, Trump media ended last quarter with $344 million in cash and cash equivalents and zero debt, while launching an in-app streaming platform on our custom-built content delivery network. With further innovations planned soon, TMTG is optimistic about our growth strategy. Okay. Okay, well, company insiders obviously don't see your grand vision. So I swear, getting his supporters to buy this stock, that might just be Trump's greatest con ever, right? I mean, it's the only thing that has actually been able to make him money. It's the only profitable, quote unquote, business that he's ever had. I mean, unless the stock falls all the way to zero, he is still going to make a ton of money. So anyway, maybe some of his supporters will finally wake up. Maybe they'll leave the cult when they lose their entire life savings. We'll see. I also have some good news out of Nebraska. Never thought I'd say those words in my lifetime, but yeah, Nebraska State Senator Mike McDonald, he said he will not be making the change that Trump and others are pushing for regarding how the state awards their electoral college votes. So I mentioned yesterday, Nebraska is one of 2 states that does things differently. And so what they do is, of their 5 electoral votes, they award 2 to the candidate who wins the state's popular vote. So overall, whoever wins the most votes, they get 2. Their other 3 electoral votes, though, are split, with 1 each being awarded to the candidate who wins the popular vote in each of their 3 districts. And since Trump, started getting desperate about this election, he started pushing for the state to switch to a winner-take-all system, because quite a few times Democrats have won 1 electoral college vote in that state, in an area that tends to be, I wouldn't say blue, but it's more purple. It's more evenly split between Democrats and Republicans, whereas the other 2, I should say, areas, the other 2 districts are very red. So McDonald said, no, it's too close to the election to make this change. And he suggested, maybe this issue should be placed on the ballot, and then we'll allow voters to decide how to handle future presidential elections. As you'd expect, Trump threw a tantrum. News broke of this, and he's so pissed off, and he accused McDonald of being a Democrat turned Republican, which, in all fairness, he is. He was a Democrat, but he's a Democrat in some areas, but more of a Republican as far as I understand it, on, cultural issues, on, everyday life issues. Financially, I guess he's more of a Democrat, leans more, blue in that area, but a cultural conservative, I guess you could call him. So he decided to switch parties, even though he kind of straddles the line. So he is a Republican in name, but holds some Democratic views. So anyway, I guess they had to overcome a filibuster. And he was kind of the tipping point, because they had just enough Republicans, or have just enough Republicans in their legislature to hold the line. So if they had even 1 defection, then they wouldn't be able to overcome the filibuster, because that would give Democrats enough people to overcome that. So anyway, that's off the table. That's not happening. Hopefully he doesn't change his mind. And the real risk, too, in that was that Maine, which is the other state who does things differently like this, they said, well, if Nebraska changes, then we would consider changing too, because Maine has the opposite issue. Maine typically leans Democratic. And so, they would then just say, okay, we'll offset Nebraska by going completely blue. So, and we'll award, winner take all in our state as well. And then, what are you going to do? So I guess from what I'm hearing, Lindsey Graham waited until the very last day to make this move, to push Nebraska to make this change. He waited till the last day that Maine would be able to enact the same type of change, so that they wouldn't have a chance to do it. So total snake, that Lindsey Graham, Miss Lindsey, Miss Lady Lindsey. Anyway, I will let you know if I hear any more. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.